What Canon lens can you buy for under 600? Today we're going to be looking at multiple options for you for lenses. It's going to be a nice little journey. I'm going to share my thought process behind the lenses I'm talking about. To be honest, I think 600 is a great budget, because what you'll find is when you're looking at different lenses, we've done like from 50 all the way up to 600, so you can check out those videos where I was giving you loads of little incremental options, because we all have different budgets and different needs for lenses. So it'll be good to see what is available at 600, and I'm going to be sharing my thought process behind them, why I would get one over the other, what it brings to the table. So this is going to be Canon specific, and EF mounts I'm looking at where possible. At this price range there will be EF. What I mean by EF is basically it will fit on a crop sensor body and a full frame body. If you're not familiar with that, that's basically different types of cameras. A 5D Mark II 6D, for example, would be a full frame, and 1000 series cameras like the 1300D, 700D, 750D will be crop sensor bodies, which normally take different lenses. So that's basically the overview. But let's have a look at that, and let me share with you what I would buy. In the description, I'm going to link you to the lenses I show you, so in case you're interested, you can just copy and paste that and search and do some of your own digging. I'm using eBay for this purpose. We're buying second-hand options. Let's see what we've got. 16 to 35 with original hood, which is a nice wide lens option for you. £600, not bad. What else have we got here? I'm going to pick out stuff that I can maybe we've seen a 24 to 105 at our lower budget, but as you get higher, I won't put that lens in again because it's a better condition version basically. What else have we got here then? Okay, 24 to 70 again. 20mm ultra wide angle lens, that might be an option for you. Let's just have a look at that. I know we looked at the 35mm in our previous £500 range, so now at a bit more we get a 24mm, which would be nice. 10 to 22mm, but that's an EFS, but I will include that because that's a great lens for if you're making videos or wide, if you want wide type shots. That's not quite 30, 10 or 22. It's even wider than that. You get it close up. I'll cover that when we get to that lens. Okay, Tolkien, no thank you. Sigma 15mm 2.8, not my thing, but I will show you it because we can talk about it. What else have we got here? Okay, the prime lens, and let's see, I've done a separate series for cameras, so I know cameras are coming up here, but you can check out, I did a selection of videos about cameras from as little as 100 all the way up to 900. So that's a separate video altogether. So number one is 16 to 35 2.8 L Usm with original hood. So let me go into that a bit. Canon lens, 16 to 35, that's how wide you will see through the lens. The lower the number, the wider the view. The higher the number, the more you can zoom into something. That's like a easy way to explain it. It's a 2.8 aperture, which will give you lovely background blur. So for example, you'll have blur in your back of your image versus this where there's no blur. If you're listening on the podcast, I'm going between two cameras and showing background blur versus no background blur. Canon with an original hood, good seller, 99% positive. Feedback, we have I normally look at the other items they sell to give me an idea of what type of seller they are. So let's go back here so you can see this as well. And here we have, okay, with the original hood, stunningly sharp ultra wide angle full frame zoom lens with no scratches or fungus or dust. So that looks like a nice option if you're into your landscape photography. That's one lens I don't have in my arsenal. I don't do much wide photography. That's why I don't have that. I've got a 50mm 24 to 70, 70 to 200, 100 macro, and that's my four lenses that I've honed down to over years of using photography. I don't need any more lenses. If I did, I'd probably sell my zoom and get a wide, but I don't have a good need for wide. However, there is a lens on this list I'm going to show you which I would probably buy, because I still use a T2i camera for my vlogging. Well, not vlogging, is it? It's basically making these videos. So I'm using this T2i with a 50mm lens, which I would buy an upgrade for, which I'll show you in a second. So coming back to here, that's your first option. And let me just get the name of that down, because I know our podcast listeners to Zulf Talks Photography podcast like to check the description so they can see what lenses are covered in the show. I would urge you to come over to my channel so you can see the videos live as I do them and I talk about the lenses. Here is the ultra wide. Not ultra, but very wide. You can go wider. 8mm available. This is 20mm, 2.8, £600. And this is a nice option if you're interested in doing wide angle photography. I'll put that on the list. I'm not going to talk much about that lens because I think once you get it, there's limited use for ultra wide lenses unless that's your specific area of interest and you can basically take photos for that. But I find with my lenses, if I have a prime lens at 50mm and I have a 24-70, that covers most of my ranges. But there are different benefits of having prime lenses. You get sharper images. That's a whole new topic, I think. Okay, this is the lens I was talking about. So firstly, it's an Efs lens. It's a 10-22mm, but it's a variable aperture, so it will change. It'll get darker and brighter if you zoom through that range, basically. It's an autofocusing range lens, but I would buy that for a crop sensor camera body. So when you look back at the videos I did for buying different cameras at different price ranges, I did look at the first £100, well, 100, I didn't put pound on it because it could be dollars, and we looked at a 1000D camera which didn't have video. So at the 200 range we looked at the 1300D which had video, and I would get this lens to pair with that because that would be a great option to shoot video with that lens for YouTube, for example, and it'll be very wide. I'll put that into our mix. There are other options available, but this price range, you're basically looking at £800. You'd have a lens and a camera if you bought that camera I was talking about. Let's have a look at this seller. Good 100% feedback. What do they say about the lens? Not much. It's just a standard blurb. And I recall seeing this seller before because of a number of lenses we've looked at. Mansa Digital. Okay, so Canon EFS 10-22, great option. We put that on our list. This is basically give you ideas and get you thinking of the lenses you can buy. Here I've put in a Sigma 15mm fisheye lens. This is like ultra wide, but I don't know. It depends what your cup of tea is and what you like to photograph. I will put that in the mix because you can get it for that price range. 600 is available. The last one here is a 135mm f2 lens. It's going to be a prime lens and it's something you can use for portraiture type work and you'll get some amazing photos from it. Very good condition, fully working telephoto lens, captures clear and close-up images from distance, thus ideal for portraits and indoor sports, especially in low light. Great job, and it's f2 as well, so that is actually doing very well for you. As are in 786, great feedback score there, mate. And see other items. Let's see what else is he selling. Okay, just the lens. So that was a quick look at some options for you to get you shooting at the 600 range. That is a good range. This is Canon specific. I'll put you to a few more videos where you can check out the video I've just made about the 500 range and also the one that I'm making next for the £700, because I think that's where things will get interesting. I'll see you on the next video.